Now that we have learned about data viewers, let's see how to use breakpoints. When you're developing a package, many times you'll need to troubleshoot issues in the package. It is helpful to know the status of the data, status of the variables, and tasks at a certain point in the execution of the package. Breakpoints enable you to stop a package during execution and view the status of these items. Breakpoints, along with the watch windows or the locals window, also enable you to see the value of the variables immediately before and after a task. To create a breakpoint on a task, just right-click the task and select Edit Breakpoints. SSI's breakpoints are provided with some events based on which we can track the execution plan and see how the process flows. Each option in the Set Breakpoints window will stop the package execution at a different point. For example, the onPreExecute breakpoint stops the execution of the package just before the task executes. onPostExecute breakpoint stops the package directly after the task completes. The same way, onError stops execution when an error occurs in the task. onWarning stops it when a warning occurs in the task. The most commonly used events in the breakpoints are onPreExecute, onPostExecute, onError, onWarning, and loop iteration. By using onPreExecute and onPostExecute on a task, you can see the value of a variable before and after a task, which enables you to determine if the task changed the value of the variable to the expected value. On the other hand, the onError and onWarning events enable you to stop a package with a breakpoint if something goes wrong. Imagine having a package that contains two data flows. The first loads the data into a flat file, and the second data flow loads the data into a table. If the first data flow encounters a warning, you do not want the second data flow to load the data. To establish this, you can use an onWarning breakpoint on the first data flow so that it will stop the package from executing the second data flow. The loop iteration breakpoint stops the package at the beginning of either a for each loop or a for loop. If a loop is executed 10 times, the breakpoint will fire 10 times. If a loop never occurs in a package, the breakpoint will never fire. When a package is stopped at the breakpoint, you can click the green arrow on the toolbar to continue to the next breakpoint or through the rest of the package if no other breakpoints exist. You can also click the square blue stop button on the toolbar to stop the execution of the package at the breakpoint. Keep in mind that the package is stopped at the point and the tasks before the breakpoint have executed. The other properties in the Set Breakpoints window are hit count and hit count type. These properties set the maximum number of times that a breakpoint condition occurs before the breakpoint stops the package. There are 4 hit count types, and they are always, hit count equals, hit count greater than or equal to, and hit count multiple. If you set the hit count type to always, the breakpoint stops the package every time the breakpoint fires. And if you set it to hit count equals, the breakpoint stops the package when the breakpoint fires the number of times listed in the hit count. If you set it to hit count greater than or equal to, the breakpoint stops the package when the breakpoint reaches the number listed in the hit count and every time afterwards. If you set it to hit count multiple, the breakpoint stops the package when the breakpoint reaches the number listed in the hit count and every multiple of the hit count number. For example, if you set the hit count to 2, it stops the package on every other breakpoint event. When a breakpoint has stopped a package from running, you can use the watch window during debugging to see the values of the variables in the package at that time. Using breakpoints and the watch window to debug a package makes it very easy to determine what the tasks in your package are doing. You can quickly determine where the error is occurring and not occurring. In some cases, a package might be running with no error messages but might still not be performing correctly. These types of errors would be hard to track down without breakpoints. Errors or no errors, breakpoints enable you to stop a package and examine the results up to that point. You should use breakpoints often during the development of any package. Now that we have learned about breakpoints, Let's see how to use them. Let's create a new package and name it Breakpoints Demo. Let's create a variable and call it int counter with the data type int and the value to 1. Let's drag in a for loop container and double click it, and let's set the initial expression to at int counter equal to 1, and let's set the evaluation expression to @int counter less than or equal to 10, and the assign expression, let's say @int counter equal to int counter plus 1. Let's click on OK. Right click the for loop container and let's select Edit Breakpoints. Let's enable a breakpoint, which is break at the beginning of every iteration of the loop. And let's set the hit count type to always. Click on OK. Let's execute this package by clicking F5. Now let's open a watch window. Let's go to Debug, Windows, Watch, Watch 1. Let's add the variable int counter. And as soon as you type it in, the value is showing here as 1. Let's click on Continue, and the value changed to 2. Now it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now the package has successfully executed. And that is how you can use breakpoints and the watch window to look at the variable values that are changing within the package.